I was one of the lucky ones because by the time I had finished college, I already had a job lined up. It was amazing. I was so excited. I got to leave college 2 weeks early so that I could go to a few days of training for this brand new, awesome job that I was going to have. This really spectacular gig where I was going to stand out in the hot sun all day and deal with hundreds of tourists. It was amazing. It was part-time. It wasn't like a full-time job. I wasn't making $100,000 a year or anything, but it was the best experience I could have had because I have degrees in history and in theater. And I got a job 2 weeks early to leave college to tell history stories, to perform history stories on the streets of Philadelphia to hundreds of tourists every single day. And I was elated. I was absolutely elated that I got to do that. And I met the most amazing people. I met Mugambi, who was a guy from Africa who'd come over who could mostly speak English, all right, but was telling history stories on the streets of Philadelphia. The guy who shared a storytelling area with me is this really awesome guy. Let's call him Ken, because that's his name. And Ken and I shared the same storytelling bench, which meant that we told the same stories, but on alternating shifts. And he was a really awesome dude. And we went out and we hung out. He was a great guy. This was my first time like living in a big city, and I got to meet all these people, and I felt like a stranger, but I felt accepted by everybody because that's okay in big cities. And then a little while later, this same company also does like plays. History performances in historical garb for children, and Ken was in this play with puppets, and I got to be his understudy. So we're like, yeah, this is great, all right? I'm really making my way in the theater world. I'm getting to tell stories. I'm working at other theater companies. It's really great. Ken's a good dude. I'm hanging out with his girlfriend. I'm hanging out with all of our friends. It's a great time. And then this play is happening. It's one of the greatest plays I've ever heard of, even just the title, Zombie the Musical. It's exactly what you think it is. It's a zombie story, but it's a musical. How fucking cool is that? All right? And it turns out that I get cast in this show at the last minute because Ken needs an understudy. So now I work at the same bench as him. I'm his understudy for the one play. I'm the understudy for the other play. And this is how I became Jen's backup boyfriend. Because Ken's girlfriend was around all the time. She's a good friend of mine. We're hanging out, having a good time. And since I just am following Ken around through all these plays, all right, like a little Tweety bird going, when do I get to go? When do I get to go? I became the backup boyfriend. If anything happened to Ken, well, it's a good thing that I was there to be his understudy. All right, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool gig. I'm sure that it's no coincidence that summer I discovered what polyamory was and discovered that I was one of those people, that I felt for multiple people, and I thought that it was really great that I could have relationships with multiple people. Now, Jen and I never had a relationship except for one really great moment. The night that I got to be in Zombie the Musical, and she played in Zombie the Musical my girlfriend. It was awesome. But the most awesome part was not that we got to be on stage together and yell at each other, and I got to turn into a zombie, and we got to punch a bunch of zombies, and we got to slash people's throats and stuff. The best part was 5 seconds before the opening curtain, when Jen and I are backstage, we're checking our makeup, we're making sure everything's okay, and she goes, you know, we've never actually done a full rehearsal of this, because I was just an understudy. And I'm like, yeah, that really sucks. We never got to do that. Like, what are we going to do? And she goes, practice. And lays the best kiss right on this guy. Because Ken was fucked off somewhere else. We don't know where he was, so he's fine. He didn't need to know. All right? But that was the best moment of the play. I don't even know what happened to the play the rest of the day because I was just lost in that world. To bring this full circle, because that I guess is the theme of what we're doing tonight, I haven't spoken to Jen in probably 7 years, until 2 nights ago, when in the middle of nowhere, out of the magic of Facebook, there we were, commenting on things together, ended up chatting with each other until 5 o'clock in the morning. We haven't spoken in 7 years. I haven't gotten to see her yet, and I probably never will, because that's the way that these things go. But through the magic of Facebook, I got to reconnect and be, for those couple hours again, the backup boyfriend. Thank you.